This video gives me a newfound appreciation for the athletes of today, because this is when athletes have had enough of the woke nonsense and woke reporters. You guys are gonna love this. You gotta check this out.
From all gender, it's like, what is this? Where I have to go?
You ask me some stupid like that, go yourself.
Don't dehumanize me up here. I can post whatever I want.
These are 8 examples of professional athletes destroying woke reporters, starting with MMA fighter Sean Strickland, who got into an extremely heated argument with a Canadian reporter, because instead of asking questions about the actual sport, the reporter started by asking questions about the LGBTQ community and comments Sean made about it in the past.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and some would say...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse...
Let me know, are you gay?
Could I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking, this is a part of, are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak man. Problem, you elected Justin Trudeau. Like, when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just pathetic. And the fact that you have no backbone, and has he shut down your country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go yourself.
But even after that brutal beatdown on the mic, the reporter doesn't call it quits and proceeds to question Sean about words he has said about the transgender community in the past. This leads to an even more heated back and forth.
Question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me.
The reporter refers to a social media campaign by Bud Light, which sponsored a transgender influencer to promote the beer. Many Bud Light fans got mad at this, including Sean.
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your bullshit you're peddling. The world is not saying, you know what, you're right. Chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are 2 genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference.
He's absolutely right when you think about it, because what do kids get taught nowadays in school? They get taught that if you're a male and you feel like a female, maybe you are a female, maybe you are meant to be a female. Where do teachers in the school system get off by indoctrinating your kids like that? Stick to math, English, history. Don't be teaching kids to permanently and irreparably damage your body, because then you're never going to be able to have kids. And statistically, it shows that people who identify as transgender, their rates of suicide are exponentially higher than any other group. So stop peddling this to kids. Stop labeling it as being tolerant and doing the right thing. You could do whatever the heck you want. Just stay away from the kids.
You want to look at the enemy to our world? It's that mother right there, asking these stupid questions.
He then goes further in on his opinion on the LGBTQ+ community and attacks the country of Canada for not having free speech due to the heavy amount of censorship against traditional values.
I like the gays. Here's the thing, I've never, you guys think I've ever shit on a gay man or shit on a gay woman? I don't. I like the gays. It's freedom. We still have it in America. We'll teach you about it. You guys don't have freedom of speech. I'm surprised what I'm saying is probably gonna get the Canadian government to arrest me. So I don't give a who you I don't give a what you want to do in life. But don't tell kids about it. Don't teach that shit in school. Don't push your agenda. Don't try to brainwash people. Don't try to go past parents. Don't try to go past all this shit and brainwash people.
Clips of this interview went viral across social media, with most people siding with Sean and finding it stupid to ask those types of questions. But the interview went so viral that Sean's boss, the CEO of the UFC, Dana White, was confronted by a reporter the next day on how he lets his fighters say whatever they want. And Dana does not take it well.
You were talking about, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
Like...
Free speech. I control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe. Gonna tell people... I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes.
Dana had to explain the basic principle of free speech to the reporter, leaving him speechless as he tried to move on to another question.
What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want. And I don't think there's any... We had two gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks or what he says or what his beliefs are or what his opinions are. You know what I mean?
In a world where most sports leagues are trying to limit what their athletes can say to comply with the woke agenda, Dana did not care at all and stood on business. But switching over to American football, NFL head coach Todd Bowles of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was asked multiple strange questions about how he felt being one of the few black coaches in the league. But the reporter failed to get the stereotypical answer he was looking for, as Bowles didn't play into the race baiting one bit.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with them and your thoughts on Steve Wilkes joining that fold.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big deal as far as us coaching against each other. I think it's normal. Wilkes got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
Yup. That reporter just asked the coach if he and two other black coaches were friends solely because they are both black. And even after Bowles shut down the question, the next reporter doubled down on it.
But you also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, maybe grew up like them, that has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, it means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
And once the clip went viral, everyone was agreeing with his response and were weirded out by the type of questions the reporters were asking.
How racist is it to assume that two people are friends just because they both happen to be African Americans? How about you just judge a person by the contents of their character rather than the color of their skin? Anybody watching a football game doesn't say, oh yeah, I'm going to root for this team because they got a white football head coach. In fact, after watching that clip, I think Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers might be my new second favorite team because he just says it how it is. Racism is only a thing because these type of people just continually bring it up over and over and over again, shove it down your throat. Judge them by their integrity, their honesty, their character. Nobody gives a dang what you look like.
For grouping the three black coaches up. But this next moment involves a world-famous tennis player, Rafael Nadal, responding to a reporter who asked him about the gender pay gap in tennis.
Quería preguntarte que, a pesar de que aquí no pase y que en los 4 Grand Slam haya equiparación salarial entre mujeres y hombres, en muchos otros torneos esto no ocurre. ¿Qué opinión te merece que las mujeres cobren menos que los hombres en el tenis y que en qué crees que se basa esa desigualdad? Gracias.
Pues no lo sé. No sé en qué se basa en el fútbol o en el golf o en el modelaje. No sé. ¿Por qué las mujeres ganan más que los hombres en el tema de la moda? Pues no lo sé. Pero ahí sí que tampoco hablamos todo el día de diferencia salarial.
He brought up a great point about how female models on average make significantly more than male ones, but no one ever complains about that. He then talks about how the media cares more about popular headlines than the actual answer and likes to twist his words.
Entiendo tú viendo todo el rato preguntas capciosas, preguntas que estamos buscando todo el rato la polémica, ¿no? Y os interesa más un titular que pueda vender que lo que yo digo, pues no te voy a contestar más sobre este tema porque creo que contesto habitualmente de manera coherente y correcta y A veces se tergiversan las palabras que yo digo y evidentemente tengo madre, tengo hermana y son de las personas que más quiero en este mundo. O sea, ¿qué más quiero yo que los hombres y las mujeres seamos exactamente igual y tengamos todos los mismos derechos, ¿no? A quien gane más, quien gane menos, que no por ser hombre o por ser mujer se gane más o se gane menos. Se tiene que ganar más o se tiene que ganar menos por la calidad de tu trabajo o por lo que tú seas capaz de vender o generar.
But similarly is this next athlete, wrestler and MMA fighter Ronda Rousey, who was asked about her thoughts on the gender pay gap.
Just another quick one about Angela's question on equality just before. We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport? And we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on?
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
That was a great answer and reinforced the key point that these sports leagues are businesses, and if you make them money, they will pay you. But that wasn't the only time she shut down a woke question, as during another interview, she was asked if she thinks female superheroes are over-sexualized, a belief that has been popularized by Hollywood.
You've expressed interest in liking superheroes, and a lot of Hollywood is coming out that the representation is very over-sexualized. What do you think about the portrayal in media?
Of superheroes? Superhero women?
Yeah.
I mean, the guys have like 16 packs. I mean, it's very much like an over-idealized idea of what, a human being should be. And so, I think that the male superheroes are overly masculinized and, the women are overly feminized. And, I think that's just part of like the whole superhero universe, really.
Her answer to the question showed how exaggeration is a part of what it means to be a superhero and how it isn't specific to any gender despite what Hollywood wants you to think. But next is NBA superstar Kyrie Irving, who was questioned by the media for posting about a movie that allegedly had offensive topics in it.
So then do you, I guess, understand or not understand those that might imply that work had anti-Semitic leanings in it? And I only ask this because the tweet is still up there, so
We're in 2022. It's on Amazon, a public platform. Whether you want to go watch it or not is up to you. There's things being posted every day. I'm no different than the next human being, so don't treat me any different.
But less than a minute later, he was asked about the movie again, and this time he was sick of it.
To follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of the title?
By putting it out there, people are going to say that you are
promoting.
promoting.
Yeah, put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Let's move on. Anti-Semitic.
Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another
You're
human
free
being.
to post
I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to understand anything from you.
It's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question.
Anybody
Do you guys have any more questions for me?
and they're going to say,
you guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a clip.
beliefs?
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again.
Now, while the book might have offensive info, Kyrie argued that it's his right to post what he wants, and the media shouldn't think they can take that right away. Next up is easily the funniest on this list. Russian martial arts champion Khabib Nurmagomedov was asked by businessman Patrick Bet-David about what he thought about America having more than two genders, and his response was priceless.
A very technical question for you. I know you're a math guy, and this one may be a tough question for you. If you're uncomfortable answering this one, I'm totally okay with that. In America, we have a few hundred genders. How many genders do you guys have in Russia? Just very, I know you're a math guy, that's why I'm asking. I think maybe there's a...
Like... Here is like, I see only women and men. There is no between.
Got it.
No, it's funny.
But if you thought that was funny, Khabib then proceeds to tell a personal story of not knowing which bathroom to enter in a Californian coffee shop.
It's crazy. It's like first time in my life, couple weeks ago, and I was in California. I was like on coffee shop. It's like, I really want to go bathroom. It's like, can I go bathroom? Okay, they told me code, and I'm coming like 2 bedroom, all gender. It's like, what is this? Where I have to go? First time I see it, like I stopped, like I stayed like 5 seconds there, like, where's woman? Where's man? I locked the door. Anybody inside? It's like, okay. It's like, I don't know, but I grew up in very traditional place, with very traditional family. I'm very happy with this. Like, I'm from big mountains, and we have only 2 genders.
If the people who believe that there are 5,000 genders heard Khabib speak like that, they would think the man is absolutely brainwashed, when in reality, he's just speaking common sense. This has been known throughout human history for thousands and thousands of years. Only now, in the past 20, 30 years, has this insanity reached the mainstream. Do these people realize that if we all switch genders and we only engage in homosexual relations, the population and the world as we know it would cease to exist? God made a man and a woman. That's it. If you want to identify as a pineapple, if you want to identify as a giraffe, as a kangaroo, as a woman, as a man, then go for it, do as you please. If you're above the age of 18, you could do whatever the heck you want. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. You should not be sitting there trying to teach me how to live my life. That's it. End of story. Just don't push it on kids. And in regards to the gender pay gap, the only argument that could be made in that regard is that men are underpaid. In the World Cup from about 4 years ago, female athletes in their World Cup were paid out at around 17% of the gross revenue. Meanwhile, the men were only paid out about 8%. So if you want to talk about equality, you should both get paid out the same percentage of the revenue that you draw in. If Susie brings in 5 viewers and Tommy brings in 30,000, don't you think that Tommy should be paid more than Susie? Basic economics, and anybody who disagrees with this has no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Which of these clips right here was your favorite? I love the Todd Bowles and the Khabib one. Those were my 2 favorites. Let me know yours down below. I'd love to hear that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.